Excuse me. Hey folks, it's Brian again. Here's a little video on some of the RuneQuest role-playing and Glorantha games that I ran at GenCon 2018. This first one is Stealing the Eye. This is Saturday. On Saturday I ran 3 Stealing the Eyes and then a Broken Tower, so it was an all-day thing for me. It was a lot of fun. My first group for Stealing the Eye, I do the whole layout on how they got there, what they're doing, what they're looking for, and they get to the front of the temple and they go in. Well, I've got a little picture of the temple, which is kind of cool, and I got a picture of the statue inside too. So I got these, little props that I use to help things go along. This first group had, let's say, four, maybe three or four players. So it was right. It was the number that was supposed to actually play. It's designed for 4 people. And so they got there and they get inside the temple and they start searching around. Not a whole lot going on that's weird or odd. This first game I don't remember a whole lot about. I forgot to take pictures of that party. I tried to take pictures of this year. I tried to take pictures of all the players who played at my table for each of my games. But it was a fairly nondescript game. And they went inside, they climbed up, they got down, they forgot to invoke the spirits to keep the statue asleep. So the statue comes awake. Should have woken up as soon as he busted the opal loose, but it's been a while since I ran this one, so they missed that, and so I had to wake up when they climbed down, which is the normal time. Which is the time after the spirits help keep it asleep, kind of thing. So the statue animates. I put the pawn out there, and there's some fighting going on. Now this thing is supposed to be like 6 meters tall, and it's based on a 4-armed gargoyle, which I have no problem with. Right, gargoyles, stone gargoyles, 4 arms. And there's no real issue with that, except for the fact this thing is 6 meters tall. That's a giant, right? And giants have a different hit location die roll because they're so tall. You can't really hit their head. Give them the legs and the abdomen. So I think I may have at that point gone ahead and made that modification. So just hitting the legs. So they hit the legs a lot, and one of the legs will go down eventually, right? And they got Hamakti there, who's really the guy who can actually damage this thing. We got a light fighter who's got a bow. On a special hit, he can do some damage, but that's about it. And then there's the thief who can't do any damage at all to this thing, really. So they put it down on its knee, and I'm not sure why something happened with this game too, because it's a 2-hour scenario, so there's lots of time to do some plenty combat, and there's this backup combat in the temple courtyard, because getting the eye shouldn't take too long, right? But we didn't get involved with any combat down there, as I recall. Interesting. I'll have to think about that. So they got out. Quick and easy scenario. No real issues with that one that I recall being a problem, unless I remember them fighting the guards. Because I do some pre-planning for this, thinking ahead. The idea is they go in the temple, they take the eye out, and then as they're leaving, a guard comes out, spots them. Things happen, and there's a second combat going on because there's a minor priestess there who can come out and help and that kind of thing. I don't remember that happening. Maybe that did. I know it happened with the second group. Anyway, kind of a poor video. I don't remember much about this. Maybe I should have taken some notes. Who knows? But anyway, So that's a really rough recap of my first game of Stealing the Eye at GenCon 2018. Happy gaming!